Hey, hi everyone. Welcome to the session. In this session, we will be understanding about range and for loop. So, before starting loops, let's first understand range function because we are going to use this function frequently in upcoming sessions. So, let's understand what it is and how it works. So, it's like when you use range function, it gives a generator, basically a sequence of number it will generate, and which can be printed using any iterable like list, tuples, or set, or any other kind of iterables, whichever you want to use. So as far as syntax is concerned, syntax it's like we have already when we were learning string slicing, at that time the syntax which we have used for string slicing, that is a kind of same syntax you will find, like start, and uh, then end, and then step. So start from where you want to start, end means till where you want to go, step means basically a jump. So, and default value, if you are not passing off any default value for a step, then it will be considered as 1. So let's run this range 0 to 10. So when you run this, you won't get any uh, sequence of number. It will just give range 0 to 10. In order to print that, either you loop it to for loop or any other loop, or you use iterable. So in this case, I have used set, and if you print, then it will get printed. So this is how it gets printed. As we have seen in the string also, if you are passing jump in a different direction as a, when it compares to your endpoint, then also you will at that time you were getting empty list, right? Or empty uh, tuple, whatever you are iterable you are using. So in this case also it works in the same way. Let's again see what was that concept and how it is. So basically, suppose my numbers is like this is my 0, 1, 2, 3, and then -1, -2, and so on. This is a negative side basically. Yeah, this is a basically a negative side, and this is, you can say, this is a positive side when it compares to the step. So what I'm saying is, I want to go from 1 to 20. My start point is this. Here I want to start, but I don't know this where I have to go. But I know that it's a number system, and if I want to find 20, then this is the way of going there. But let's see what our function is saying, wherever, which side I have to go. So it's saying you have to start from 1 and you have to go till 20 in a negative direction, -1. So it is saying go in this direction and find out 20. So in this direction, as you can say, you will never find 20, right? So that's why it gets confused and it will give you the empty list. So that's why you are seeing a empty list here. So how to fix that? So we can fix it very easy. So just this is a 0, positive side, negative side. So what my function is saying now, 20, somewhere here 20, suppose it is here 20, and then go till 1 in minus direction. Now it's showing go in minus direction and find out 1. So definitely 1 I will be able to find. So definitely I will be getting output because 1 is coming in their side. So let's see if we are getting output. Yeah, this we haven't got, and let's check second one, which we have discussed later. Yes, and the in as already we have discussed in a string lecture, that end point is not included, which means upper bound is not included. So 20 is not included here, 1 is not included. So that's why you're moving starting from 20 till 2 and one is not here. So this is the concept is same. So this basically when we have to run a loop for xyz number of times, then basically we use range function to do that. So this is how the structure of range function is, and this is the workflow of range function. So let's understand our next topic, that is for loop. So when we say we need a loop, a for loop, so definitely a question comes in our mind: why should we use any loop? So it's very easy to interpret it. Interpret. The reason is that suppose you have to print, you know, a particular set of code n number of times. In our case, let's say I want to print hello world 10 times. So in that case, the as a coder, if you are a coder, the first thing which you will learn from your mentor or anyone who is teaching you coding, you will always say if anything which can be which is repeatable, it should be automated, and it, you should reuse your code instead of writing redundant code. So always you have to avoid redundancy in your code, and you have to reuse your code. So if I say I have to print hello world 10 times, and if you write in this way that print at hello world 10 times, then you are not reusing your code. You are, print hello world is one set of code which you are again and again repeating, which we should avoid it. So to avoid this thing, so just one line of code you need to use, print hello world, and you need to some sort of a function you develop, which can be used to write 10 times or whatever number of times you want to write that particular function. So to do this task, we have a for loop which can iterate our particular function whatever number of times we want to. So let's understand the structure of for loop. So basically it is used to loop piece of code n number of times. Okay. So here for, and then items list. So basically list is a set of items. Okay. And this is a variable. Item is a variable which will access the element of this particular list. If suppose it has a 3 element 0, 1, 2, 3, then this particular item variable one by one pick each element and come here to print that. So how this basically work is, so basically suppose this is your bucket. Okay, you have three balls, red, blue and green. Okay, so this particular item variable which we are saying, what it will do is it will first pick R, red ball, and print it. Then your cursor move to blue ball, and then it will return again to this point, and from here it will pick blue ball this time. Again blue ball assigned to this particular variable, and it will print to this here. Now it will take green ball, again here cursor will come, and already we have used two values, that is red and blue. So next one will be picked as a green ball. Again it will assign here, and this variable by assigning here it will print here. So this is one by one it will pick and print. This is the functionality of picking your element. So this is a statement which we use to follow in for loop. So here's a concept which you need to remember: every for loop must reference a list or a range. This particular thing should be a list or range. Code to be executed as part of the for loop must be indented by 4 spaces. Here if you see, from here to here, from for, if below for loop, if you have to write your for loop, you have to maintain one tab key, or you just hit 4 times space key. So this 4 times space is maintained between this. This is the indentation followed by Python. But most of the cases, if you are using IDE like Jupyter Notebook or any uh, uh, IDEs which is Python supported, if you write your code and just enter it, it will automatically land to the it will basically follow indentation which is mentioned here. To use individual items in the list or range, we have to create a variable. So this is the variable item. We want to use the item of this particular list. So we have created a variable item of whatever name you want, you can create, it will access. So let's simple hello number or hello world, you can say I want to print. So what I have write for I in range function, as I already discussed with you, it will print a sequence of numbers. So I have started from 1 till 10, jump of 1, so it will go to 1 to 9 because 10 is not included, upper bound is not included, hence it will print 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9. So this line, what it will do is, first time it will pick, you know, let's understand this. Okay, so this is first, two, three, four, and so on till 9. First time when loop will run, this will picked by 1. So hello world, it will print hello world, and along with that it will print 1. Now loop again will go, and this time it has used 1, so it will move to the second item, that is second. It will pick 2 and then hello world and then comma 2. So this is how this particular loop will run until your item get exhausted. Basically list of item gets exhausted. So when I was able to, when I'm able to exhaust all the 1 to 9 elements, then this will stop. This is how it works. So if I want to print from 0 to 7, then again it's the same thing. So you can see this is how for loop with the use of range function, with the help of range function, it works. Now let's say I want to this is the my player bucket. Okay, this is a list of players I have. I want to pick each player and I want to print I love that particular player's name. So what I want to my problem statement is, you have a list of players name, pick each player's name, and each before the name of each player, print I love and then player's name. So like first one will be I love Sachin, then I love Ganguly, like that it will run. This is just for understanding whether first piece of code, this one, the highlighted one, is just print a player's name. You are just printing it. You are extracting from the bucket and you are just printing it. Sachin, then Ganguly, then Dravid, it will pick and print one by one. And next piece of code, what you are doing is you are picking a player's name and appending in the print function here I, right? And along with that, you are also writing I love statement in double quote. So this is how you can use to whatever kind of formatting you want to use. There is also one special case of for loop, that is for else loop. So this part will be for, and below that you will be having else part. So if suppose this particular value is having a list or whatever items you have assigned to them, if that get exhausted, like in our case, once it will reach to Kumble, it will be done, right? So in this case also, if it is suppose this list is 6, if it is utilized 6, then this particular loop will be over, and after that it will print else. So else is the items in the sequence used in the for loop. In for loop exhausts, and if break is not used. So what it is written in else if. So for else it was written, if the item in the sequence used in for loop, basically this one, items used in for loop exhausts, if it is exhaust and break is not used. Here I have commented it out. So let's see how it works first. So first it will see I in 6, only one element is there, that is 6. So it will get 6 will be assigned to I. Now I is equal to 6, yes it is equal to 6, then print welcome. Okay, then else will not be executed. In most of the cases you will see if else together. Wherever you will find else, you will be having if there. But in case of for loop, a special case, you will be seeing else with the for loop also. Else you in every case you will be seeing if and else and almost together in every case. So I is equal to 6, yes print welcome, and that's it, that's the job is done here. After that, once it is done, it will come here. Finally you have come to me, it will print, because it has exhausted 6, right? So it has exhausted all the elements of that particular list, this. So it will come to here. Now my second point is, it will come to this particular else block if it has exhausted all elements. That is, suppose if here it was 5, then 5 and 6, after print utilizing 5 and 6, then only it will come to here. If I have used break, so what it will do is, it will not print else part, just print welcome. Why so? Because what it will do is, as soon as it will enter here and print welcome, after that it will see break. Once it will see break, it will exit the loop, it will just break it from there. That's why it was not able to welcome it. So we have a separate lecture for break and continue, so you need not to worry about that. We'll be discussing that. So this is how for else work. So before moving to nested for loop, let's understand a few terminologies of print function. So print function by default uses new line. If you're not defining ind's value, you have already by default function we have studied, right? So if you are here, default value means new line. If you are giving any value in the end thing, then it will override, else it will consider new line only. So basically this I have picked from docstring. Here I am not able to shift tab the print function. That's why I have taken it from Jupyter Notebook and printed it out here, so that we can understand how the flow of what is the structure of print function. I'll be using that. So I have a number which I am trying to utilize. So what I will do is, let's use our user defined function. Okay, so what I will do is, I will use an int, take the user input. For that we'll be using input function. We have studied that in the previous sessions, right? Please provide the input. As input is in in which class, it is a string class, a string type. So we are converting that into integer, and we are saving it. So let's understand. So first I will run it. I'll run it. It will take my input. I'm entering 3. It will print it, right? So let's understand how it flow this work. So for that, so this case also I use. Yeah. So what you can see here is, we have printed like this. So how it flow this work? First it will run this for loop, right? For I in range n, and value of n is 3. I have passed, right? So 0, 1, 2 it will take. 3 will not be considered because it is upper bound, right? 0, 1, 2 will be passed inside the range n. So range n 3. So it will output of range 3 will be 0, 1, 2. So basically we have, you can say, a bucket of these things. So first it will be 0. The value of I will be assigned to 0. Okay. So 0 is now assigned. Now it will come to this loop. In this loop for j, now our bucket list item to access that bucket is item variable is j, and bucket is range 0. Range, because range 0, right? So range 0 is nothing. You can see here, range 0 is nothing but an empty list. So it doesn't have anything at this point of time in this loop. So if it has a no element, it won't print anything. It will just come here, and after that, if you see by default, if I'm saying if in you have not specified, it will print new line. So here it will print space, which is present here, space, and after that it will move to new line. Now it will come here, from here to here. Now I have utilized this, so leave this, right? So now what I have is, now I have 1. Now I have, so now you see we have 0, we have already exhausted. So we will use not use. Now it will pick 1 from here. 1 will be assigned to I. Okay. So after that, for j in range I, that is range 1. Value of range 1 is 0. Here if you can see, this color is not correct. White only. Yeah. So range of 1 is 0 only. So here I have one value to iterate. Now j's value will be 0. So that means it will come inside the loop. It will print star, and after that it will come here. Here a space is there, and after that new line will be there, right? Because end is equal to new line by default, this particular statement. So this loop is completed because it has only one element, right? J is equal to 0. So this exhausted, so only one element is there. So it has already taken that. Now I have 0, we have used it, 1 we have used it, next is 2. Just remember that we have used 0 and 1. Now i's value is 2 will be assigned to I, and it will come in this line. Just note here, this time what will happen, j's value can take range 2's can be 0 and 1, right? So it will print star. First it will pick 0, j's value 0. So it will j value 0, and it will come here. Once it is 0, it will come here. It will print star in this line. You can see star here. After that, it will again go up because still it has not exhausted all the values. So this time it will pick 1. 1 will be assigned, and it will come here again. Again it will print one more star. Okay. So after that, what will happen is it will go and check here. Is there any other values left? Because 0, 1 we have only 2 values. All we have used it. So all the values got exhausted. So it has nothing to take now. So what it will do, the job of, it will say the job of this particular loop is over because it has utilized all the values. Now this value is over. Now it will come to this particular line, that is, so if you have, so we have already seen that by first loop, by can say this bigger loop has 0 1 2 values. This is utilized, this is utilized, this value is utilized. So all values were utilized, right? So if nothing is left, then this particular process will get completed. If that gets exhausted, then only process will be completed. So we have utilized for this also. And you can see if taking value, then it is coming to this loop. So this is how this process. This is a bit complicated if you are a newbie. So yes, I understand that. So that you need to practice. So you need to practice that because yes, it's a bit complicated if you are a newcomer. So this is about the nested loop. I have also written here a code which will help you to understand how this works. In the statement is not by default new line. I have given a parameter. So when you run it, you can see that both these getting mixing up all together is getting printed. So if you want to avoid that, you can either put new line or just remove int. So int what will do is int will automatically, if you are not mentioning anything, it will new line. So this is how you can understand the flow of print. You can just explore the signature of the print function, and you'll be able to understand. So this is about range and for loop. Thanks for watching.